He called us a career-ending mistake before we were even born. Said he'd send money, but no one could know we were his. That's what my father told my mother. Then he vanished, just ghosted her. And 28 years later, here we are, twins he disowned, staring up at him from the cover of a business magazine with a headline that pretty much screams how these 28-year-olds built a $50 million company from nothing. Wild, right? If you're watching this, drop a comment, tell me where you're listening from, because this story? Buckle up. So, picture this. Charlie Moore, the guy in question, big shot CEO, the kind of man who thinks the world spins on his signature. He's in his corner office, city view, thick glass desk, the works. He picks up that magazine, sees my brother Sean and me, Catherine, on the cover. We're smiling. We look happy. We're also, unmistakably, his kids. And the man just collapses. No joke, his assistant freaks out. Whole executive team runs in. Someone asks if they should call an ambulance. Charlie waves them all away, blames it on low blood sugar, locks his office, and just sits there shaking. The past has finally caught up to him, and it's got a $50 million price tag. You want the backstory? It's classic. Charlie, fresh out of B school, falls for Camila McCullum. Our mother, smart, beautiful, black, worked accounting at the same company. She gets pregnant, and suddenly, everything about Charlie turns cold. All he can see are board members and family judging him for having mixed-race kids out of wedlock. So he tells her, I can't be involved. I'll send money, but that's it. Don't tell anyone they're mine. Mom said, keep your money. My kids deserve better than a father who's ashamed of them. She raised us alone, and yeah, it was hard, but she never once looked back. Charlie? He built his empire, married a suitable woman, never had kids with her, buried himself in work, convinced himself that keeping away was doing us some kind of favor. But here we are, all grown up, innovators in solar tech, making clean energy accessible for families who'd never dreamed of it. Because Mom taught us obstacles are just opportunities in disguise. And integrity, that's non-negotiable. So why did Charlie lose his mind over this magazine? It's not guilt exactly. It's like pride and shame wrestling in his chest. Because he knows he had nothing to do with what we became, but he also knows those eyes staring up at him are his. And then he reads, bottom of the article, the McCullum twins will keynote at the National Business Leadership Conference in Chicago next week. Guess who's getting a Lifetime Achievement Award at the very same event? Charlie calls in his private investigator, tells him to dig up everything on us. He's sweating, clutching this faded photo of Mom from some company picnic, the only one he kept. For 28 years, he's been running from this. And the next call from his investigator is, well, a gut punch. Sir, the twins? They're looking for you, too. And they know who you are. Charlie realizes the secret's out, and there's nowhere left to hide. Meanwhile, on our end, the truth dropped after Mom passed away from breast cancer 5 years ago. She left letters, uncashed checks, a birth certificate with Charlie's name. She never trashed him, never poisoned us. She said, your father missed out. That's his loss. And after we made it, we agreed. We'd seek him out, not for revenge, but for answers. Thing is, while we were building Macklem Innovations, we also started digging into the company Charlie built, especially its old hiring practices. We found receipts. Back in the day, Charlie had kept black executives out of the C-suite to keep certain board members happy. Sure, he changed it later, but for a decade, a lot of dreams got crushed. We got the documentation, all the emails and memos. The plan wasn't to blow him up in the press, not at first. But we wanted him to know we knew. The week of the conference, we reached out, asked for a private meeting. Charlie agreed, nervous as hell. But before we even sat down, someone else made a move. Charlie gets an email, draft article, subject line, Moore's Black Secret, the story that will end your career. Attached, every ugly detail, his abandonment, the company's racist policies, and worse, evidence he thought he'd erased. Suddenly, it's not just about family. His entire legacy's on the line. Here's the twist. The article is real, but it's not us threatening to drop it. There's a third player, Harold McBath, Charlie's old partner turned rival. Harold's been waiting 30 years to take Charlie down. He knew about us. He knew about Mom. And he's got hackers planting fake financial records to frame all three of us for fraud. Why? Because if both companies collapse, he picks up the pieces, owns our tech, and finally gets revenge on Charlie for stealing both his business and the woman he once loved, our mom. Yeah, let me back up a sec. Turns out, before Mom and Charlie, there was Mom and Harold. She ended it gently, fell for Charlie instead. Harold never got over it. Never forgave Charlie for that, or for taking the company in a direction Harold hated. So when he finds out we're keynoting with Charlie, he sets the trap. The FBI shows up at our hotel, leaks hit the press, stocks tank, pandemonium. But we have one shot. Harold's longtime assistant Soraya, who owes Charlie a favor for saving her daughter's life years ago. She delivers the smoking gun, emails, hacked files, even a love letter from Mom to Harold confirming the triangle. Now we know. It's not just business. It's personal, deep, and ugly. Everything comes to a head on the hotel roof. Harold lures us there, folder in hand, offers Charlie a deal, sign over his company, save his kids from prison, or watch us all go down. Charlie calls his bluff, because we're already recording everything, Sean hidden behind the AIC unit. We've sent the evidence to the feds and the press. When Harold realizes he's caught, he loses it, tries to pull Catherine me toward the edge. Charlie tackles him. The FBI storms the roof, drags Harold off in cuffs, still screaming about betrayal and lost love. After, we're left sorting through the wreckage. Soraya is shot by one of Harold's men, barely survives. Both companies wobble, but with the truth out, the press and public turn in our favor. The old board at Moore Industries wants Charlie gone, but he beats them to the punch, signs over the changes we demanded. New diversity policies, reparations, and a $50 million foundation in Mom's name for single parents and scholarships. It costs him millions. It buys him something like peace. And then comes the moment, the Lifetime Achievement Award. The ballroom is packed, everyone waiting for the scandal or the apology. Charlie steps up, tells the truth, says he ran from love, ran from responsibility, let fear and ambition dictate his life. Says he's proud of us, finally admits who we are, that our mother was the bravest, strongest person he ever knew. He declines the award, publicly for good. The crowd's dead silent at first, then they stand and clap. Maybe it's forgiveness, maybe it's just relief, but it feels like a turning point. 6 months later, we're having brunch together. It's weird, sometimes awkward, sometimes pretty great. Charlie's not trying to be dad, not after all this time. He just wants to be present, to make up for a lifetime of absence, one moment at a time. We visit Mom's grave together, tell stories, laugh about her stubbornness and her hope for us. We talk about business, too, because that's who we are, and the lesson? Family isn't biology. It's choices made over and over. Charlie gets that now. He lost a lot, but he learned, finally, that integrity's the only real legacy. And me? I hope Mom's proud. I think she would be if you've made it this far. Thanks for listening. This story isn't just about family or business or scandal. It's about the choices we make, and how sometimes the right thing isn't easy or even clear. If it made you think, or if you've ever faced your own crossroads, leave a comment, share your story. Because maybe that's how the healing really starts.